Once again, I am Thomas.
This is Robbie.
And you're watching Believe in the Run. What are we doing with a stack of shoes like this in front of us, Robbie?
I think we're gonna like Scrooge McDuck it and dive into this thing and just throw around our gold. Or not.
Or we could talk about HOKA ONE ONE and what HOKA ONE ONE shoe is right for you.
Yeah, where are we at now? What's coming in the future? What should you buy? What should you put on your feet?
What do you need it for? So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about the HOKA ONE ONE. What shoe is right for you? What is HOKA ONE ONE? Why do I keep saying One One?
If you're wondering if it's 1-1, it's not.
Yeah.
It's French for something.
Oui, oui. And Robbie, we're going to tell them about the difference between Glide Series and Fly Series. So you have Pro Glide and Pro Fly.
Yeah, so HOKA divides their family into two categories, as you said, the Glide and the Fly.
Good cousins, bad cousins.
Yeah, I guess. Fly is more of the faster, more responsive performance shoes, where the Glide is more your everyday
comfort.
Yeah, comfort. Glide. I mean, you get it.
Gliding, flying.
Yeah.
You want to glide some days? You want to fly some days?
So let's start out with the Glide series, since that's more of like the traditional, like every daily trainers and things like that. So.
And in the past, one of our favorite shoes has been the Clifton.
There it is. And we're on the 7th version now.
And this shoe is still great. Meg and I both love this shoe. I've actually run a marathon in the Clifton. Meg has run several in the Clifton. Run Boston in the Clifton. Before there were super shoes and you wanted a cushion shoe that could get you 26.2 miles in comfort, it was a Clifton.
That's the one that put them on the map, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Big banger.
The shoe has evolved nicely. It's still a great shoe. This shoe, I could pretty much recommend to anyone. Anyone who likes running. It's light enough that it feels fast underfoot, cushioned enough that your legs get a really nice break.
And if you catch our Best in Gear awards this year, we actually give this shoe the honorable mention for best overall shoe.
Yeah.
So
honorable mention.
Obviously one of our favorites right out of the gate.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it got honorable mention.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want something lighter than the Clifton, but with a Clifton feel? The Rincon in the Glide series is the Clifton skinnied up.
Yep.
It's a skinnier version. You get less midsole, less upper, less rubber on the bottom.
It weighs like 3 ounces less almost, I think. Maybe 2 ounces less, yeah.
We weren't gonna get into weights on this because then we'd have to look them all up, but it is a little lighter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, why the Clifton still, for me, outweighs the Rincon. The Rincon has a great step and feel. First 100 miles, feel great in the Rincon.
So good.
But then it starts to flatten out and it doesn't feel as easy on the legs.
Yeah, I personally wore this shoe, I think 200 miles this last summer, which is a lot for a shoe reviewer, since we review tons of shoes. And like Thomas said, one of my favorite shoes, like of any shoe, the first 100 to 150 miles. But then once that foam deadens out, it's like, eh.
So this is how I would say it for somebody. If you wanted to stay in the Glide series and you wanted one that was more cushioned and one that's a little faster feeling underfoot, that's where these fall in. If you're a lighter person, you might enjoy the Rincon because you're not going to compress it as quickly. But I do feel like there's better options.
Speaking of better options, what do you think of this?
This is the Clifton Edge. So they're taking the Clifton name, which is real popular, and so you're already going to have a fan base for that, and you slap it onto a unique looking shoe, and then you're like, people are like, hey, let me try that other Clifton.
But this, you see the extended heel segment coming out of here. We first saw it in the HOKA 10.9, the trail shoe, which prepared everyone for this shoe because it would have been, their minds would have been blown. The upper is really nice. Like I really would love to see this upper on another shoe. Or
fantastic upper, super strong, super breathable.
Yeah, really one of my favorite HOKA uppers, I have to say.
And we've lost the pull tabs, but these actually really work really well to get your shoe on.
It does work very well. You almost pulled it out of my hand.
This shoe is great for somebody who needs stability. You're gonna see it's really wide base here.
Because of the wide base, it almost like slaps down and corrects your foot too early.
So if you land a little bit on the inside, it slaps it this way. If you land a little bit on that side, it slaps your foot that way.
I thought I felt the same thing, and we both thought that without even like talking about it. Yeah.
I'm not sure what would help that out, but I think if you narrowed out this throat a little bit, maybe that would help it out. Brought in this a little bit. It's just so wide that no matter where I landed on the shoe, it was slapping. And what happened was my knee would start to feel fatigue on longer runs. I'd feel like a tweaking almost in it because it was adjusting my stride a little too much.
If you have a better foot strike, or maybe that'll work for you. I did kind of like the heel segment. If you are going downhill, it gives you that like cushion and rolls it forward.
Women like the shoe better than men like this shoe.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think it's the colors.
That might be anecdotal, but
Yeah, it is totally anecdotal. From my expert scientific analysis,
Cool.
That's what I heard people getting back to me.
So we can move on.
Now that's the big daddy.
Yeah, this is the biggest one of the bunch of really any HOKA shoe, I think.
Yeah, at Bondi, if you just don't want to feel anything, this is your Prozac.
Yeah, so this is the HOKA Bondi 7.
So this is how this would go. Most cushion to least cushion.
So if you want a lot of cushion for those easy runs or recovery miles or just in general, the Bondi might be your jam.
Megan loves this shoe. This is one of her favorite easy day running shoes. For me, the balance between weight and cushion just makes me feel like I'm running through sand. It's a little too cushion for me. It's a little too heavy. So between the two, really running through sand is the way I describe it. Other people, this might be one of the top selling HOKA shoes. People love this shoe.
I think it's one of our most viewed videos like on YouTube, because I also think this works well for say like beginner runners or older runners, or even someone who's working who spends a lot of time on their feet. Definitely going to give you a lot of support there.
Yeah, people like it for that. And I also say Clydesdale runners.
Yeah, for sure.
Who need that extra cushioning. Like, you know, if you're above 200 pounds, and it could be ripped 200 pounds where you're a muscle builder, you're gonna love this thing.
Yeah, because it's not gonna compress like the same way that the Rincon kind of compressed pretty early in its life cycle. This is gonna give you a cushion for a long time.
Yeah. You feel like flying, Robbie?
Yeah, let's get into the ProFly collection,
Okay.
Thomas.
For the first time in a long time, the ProFly series is really stepping up, from my opinion. I haven't always loved all the ProFly shoes. They've seemed firm, they seem kind of a little bit clunky, and now they're getting much better. I'm gonna start off with a shoe that if it came out this December, it would be probably my top daily trainer. It unfortunately won't be available to you till when?
Till March 1st.
This is the Mach 4.
And the Mach 3 wasn't exactly like a banger. No one really loved it, or it was
a
kind
little
of
too
just
firm.
Like, yeah, so it really didn't land on the radar of our best shoes of the year or anything.
Yeah. So what they did,
tell us what changed.
you got a softer foam underfoot paired with a harder rubberized foam underneath. You get a nice soft landing, but you don't lose that energy coming off your foot. It almost acts like its sister shoe that has a plate. So you get the stiffness from this rubberized foam on the bottom. The ProFly foam that you land on here is nice and soft. Really nice cushioning. The upper is about perfect. Like, it just fits right. Matter of fact, all the HOKA uppers are getting really dialed in. Whoever's doing the design over there, you're killing it.
And it does look really good too.
Nice thin tongue, gusseted of course. It just feels lively underfoot, but when you want to take it easy, it also feels soft and forgiving. So this shoe for me is, again, one of those shoes anybody running any level, whether you're a 5-minute miler or a 14-minute miler, this shoe is gonna feel good under your foot, and you're gonna see it's got a little notch here in the back for that goat look that you're all looking for.
They call it the dovetail design, so it disperses some energy if you land on your heel or in the back there. Instead of going straight through the heel, it'll just go into
Choose
one
a side. Do you think they talked about goat hoof design at all, or do you think they're like dovetail sounds so much better?
I feel like they could have leveraged the whole goat thing, like greatest of all time. And
I like that.
They really should have. They missed something on that.
Robbie,
Yeah.
you gotta call him.
HOKA,
Yeah.
I can work for you.
So I mentioned a sister shoe.
The sister shoe, the HOKA Carbon X2.
They cleaned up that upper, they brought it in, it's more narrow, it's more fitted, it looks more like a running shoe. Another thing, I couldn't figure out why I liked the ride of the shoe so much more than the original one. So I talked to HOKA and they explained to me how they brought the plate closer to the ground. So before it was like in the middle of the midsole, which made it feel pretty firm. Now you get some really nice cushioning, and you can see when I bring up the Mach 4 again, that's this top layer cushion. You can see how it's almost like half and half, where this one, because the plate's in there, where you see this gray line here, that's where the plate is sandwiched in there. So a lot less of the firmer foam, and the plate is further from your foot. So you land, You have this, all Hoka shoes have a nice rocker midsole.
Yeah.
You land, you roll through, there's a soft feeling. This shoe is a doozy for me. I love this shoe. Now, if you want to go even faster, Robbie.
Yeah, this is the one where Elevon won at the Olympic trials, the Marathon Olympic trials in February. Who else just took, oh, Hayden Hawks just won the JFK 50 miler, broke that record in this shoe. This is, it lives up to its name. The Hoka
Rocket.
The Rocket X, sorry.
Rocket X.
This is their racing shoe, their premium racing shoe. It has the carbon plate, also like the Carbon X, except this is a lighter version of that shoe.
This doesn't have that hard rubberized foam in it.
Right, this is a lighter foam, lighter than the Carbon X, more for race day. I actually really like this shoe as, and I feel like it can transition into like a tempo shoe even, or maybe like a faster like daily trainer.
It's weird, even though I know that one's supposed to be faster, I think I liked running faster in this shoe over that shoe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love this shoe.
So yeah, I really like this shoe, and I feel like I find myself thinking about it in my next race. And thinking
he finds himself thinking about it all the time.
All right.
So wait, are you actually thinking your next race you're going to be throwing on the Rocket X?
I've considered it. The Endorphin Pro might be just a little too firm for me to go a long distance. If it's a half marathon, I might throw it out there. But marathon distance, I'm thinking maybe this or the Brooks Hyperion Elite 2, so we'll see. For value, I think there's good value in this as a racing shoe at $180 for a plated racer.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah, compared to all the other carbon plated racers, it's really not that bad. And the Carbon X2 is actually the same price at $180. So,
which one do you think I would go for?
I mean, you're going the Carbon X2. Yeah.
I love that thing.
All right, so another shoe. Now we're dialing.
I don't even think we need to talk about this one. It's in the ProFly series.
To do it.
Yeah, I just don't know where it fits in when you've got this.
So this is the Hoka Elevon 2, and this is in the Fly series, but it has more support and structure.
It's a little more firm.
Yeah, and you have like some sort of structure around here. There's like internal.
Honestly, to me, it's kind of like they took some parts of this shoe and some parts of this shoe. It's got a tongue like the Carbon X2. It's got an upper like the Mach.
Yeah.
It's got the dual density foams like the Mach 4. And it has more rubber on the bottom.
And this came out before all of these shoes on this table. So this was early 2020.
Yeah. The one nice thing about this is it has a nice lockdown lacing system that kind of really keeps your foot in nicely.
It is a nice lacing system,
but
for sure.
For me, I don't know how much of a life that has when you have a really good Mach 4 and it kind of feels like a duplicate. You also see some styling cues from the Clifton Edge. There's some shoes that have a little bit of redundancy. I feel like that's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something that's stability related and maybe a little bit faster, I guess you could go for this. I'm, like Thomas said, probably going the way of the Mach.
Yeah, and that's probably what I'd recommend. I'd probably never recommend that shoe to someone, not because it's a bad shoe, just because it doesn't really fit in anywhere well.
Yeah.
Your 1-2 punch, and we said in the beginning, Clifton was our pick. Megan loved it, and I loved it. Both Megan and I agree that the Mach 4 may have taken the Clifton's place for us. It just has that extra speedier feel. You got that second gear in this that you don't have in the Clifton. And then for me, if I'm training and I want a great 1-2 punch, daily miles in this one, tempo runs in this one, maybe even racing in this one.
Wow, that's high praise. So top two right there. Now, I do want to say we didn't cover every shoe in the entire Hoka family. These are the heavy hitters from Hoka that we love and that we think will fit, 95% of most.
Yeah, these are the ones that, except for this guy here, that we'd recommend to you in some capacity. If you were looking for a super cushion shoe, gonna throw you to Bondi. If you're looking for just a nice daily trainer to cruise miles in, go Clifton, Mach 4. If you want something a little fun, faster, you're gonna start moving into the Rincon, the Carbon X2, and even the Clifton Edge. And if you want race day, Rocket X or Carbon X2.
So that should cover most of the shoes in the Hoka collection. There are some that we didn't cover, like I mentioned, and those reviews are over on the website for a lot of those shoes.
So, you can check out full reviews of all these shoes on the website, also here on YouTube. And feel free to ping us a question or two about the shoes. We'll try to come back with a snappy answer.
Leave something in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. We plan on doing many more roundups and shoe reviews in the near future. And like this video, of course.
And check out our podcast, weekly podcast called The Drop.
Yep.
It's phenomenal.
All right. Is that it?
That's it from me.
All right. Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom. She might like that if she ever watches these videos.
Did your mom?
I don't think she does. Meg's mom does. Hi, Robin.
All right.
You told me I was getting on a plane, one was a glider and one was a flyer.
Yeah.
It's basically a skinny Clifton. Best 1-2 punch training pair.
Yeah. It kind of was going into I think your mind was.
I was looking at
it wasn't related in any way to what I was saying. You're just thinking. All right. Yeah, we can cut that part.